Well, what we've done is we've gone through and we've loosened up all along here, which is the inside wing, and we've taken this webbing strip off here at the bottom, pulled this back and removed the staples holding the fabric for the inside back. And what we have to do next, we're going to have to remove this webbing because the inside back is stapled inside on this frame member. In order to get to that, this is all going to have to come off. So that's the next step. Okay, we have the webbing removed, and there was some foam rubber in there that we also took out, and you can see how loose this webbing is. The reason that webbing was put on was to take this up because this had worn out over time, and obviously when the owner was sitting in the chair, they really didn't like the feel of this, so the previous upholsterer put on that webbing to shore this up, so to speak, to put the firmness back into the chair. When we reupholster this chair, we are going to replace all of this, and we'll do this chair right so that the outside webbing won't be necessary. So now we have to remove the staples along the bottom here, and we should be able to take that inside back fabric right off. Okay, it looks like on this particular chair, because we didn't have any pull-throughs on our frame, the wings are going to have to actually come off before we can take the inside back off. Well, we've got these loosened up. Should be able to just pull these right out. There we go. And we can continue on inside here. Again, there's more staples holding the inside back on. Okay, we're going to take off this Dacron next. We got a little surprise underneath here for everybody to see. Which is, at one point in time when this chair was reupholstered, they just went right on over the fabric that was there. Something we really don't like to see. Something I definitely don't like to do. In this case, it appears that it's only one layer, and that's a good thing. It's not uncommon to find 3, 4, sometimes 5 layers of old upholstery on here. So I always try to strip off all the old fabric right down. Sometimes you'll find a muslin cover on these old chairs, but in this case it appears the muslin is long gone and they just went on over the old at some point. Well, we're still working on getting this inside back off, but as I'd like to show you here, we've got quite a mess. Apparently the last person that upholstered this chair was not aware of the procedure that you're supposed to use when upholstering a chair that does not have pull-throughs on the frame. This wood here, it's been stapled onto the frame with big staples, and this is not correct. This should not be here. This can damage the frame by putting these big staples into the frame. There's always the risk of splitting it when you do that. There's a much simpler way to do that, a much simpler way to upholster this chair without doing this. This took a lot of extra effort, and I will be demonstrating the proper way to upholster this chair, but in the meantime we've got to get this mess out of here and see what we've got to work with. Well, it looks like we've loosened this up enough. We ought to be able to get this inside back off. Well, underneath the Dacron, We found another layer of the fabric, so we're going to have to do it all over again and work on taking this layer off as well. Okay, all we have left to do now is the inside arms and the deck. On this particular chair, the inside arms are actually tacked inside the frame rail where the springs are. So we're going to have to remove this piece of webbing so we can get in there and loosen those staples, and the inside arm should come right off after that. We have a few staples up here right next to the leg. Those of you who don't know, these upholstery tools, especially these staple pullers, it's very easy to slip. And when you slip, you can put quite a scratch on the finish. So I wouldn't argue with anybody that said I should put some masking tape on there, just kind of give myself a little extra margin of protection. Probably even painter's tape would work better, but we don't have any right now, so we're going to go ahead and put some masking tape on there, just to protect this as much as we can. And of course, you should always use caution around the finish, whether you're using any tape or not. It's nice to have a nice patina on these legs and to have some battle scars from age, but it's not very nice when your upholster does it. Now you'll find on the deck, when we get this unstapled and pulled back, you can see there's a line of stitchings run right through here. That's typical the way you do that. Usually that gets stitched down nice and tight. Helps give you this line here. It also helps build a little bit of a lip here. Kind of helps the cushion from sliding off. Keeps it in the chair. We'll have to cut those stitches, and we should be able to pull this right off. Take this layer of Dacron off. And look, there's also another layer of fabric under here. At some point in time they built this up with a little bit of foam rubber to help build up that lip. We're going to avoid foam rubber when we put this chair back together. And it's sewn again across here like I showed you the first time. Now if you're doing this at home, try to save yourself some money. This cotton padding can be used over as long as it's in good shape and doesn't have any funny odors in it or anything. You can also add a layer to it. if you want to give yourself a little more padding, but that'll last a long time. The cotton never really goes bad. It does compress over time, and it will lose its resiliency, but as long as there's no funky odors or anything like that, you can just add to it and use it again. Now, depending on the condition of your chair, this may be as far as you need to go as far as stripping it down is concerned. If you don't have any frame repairs that need to be made or any spring repairs, this would be a good point to start your reupholstering process. In the case of this chair, though, we have some frame repair needs to be attended to, and as I mentioned earlier, we're going to retie the springs on it. So we're going to have to continue taking this chair down so that we can make the repairs and work on those springs.